Hi everyone, my name is Natalie Montes and I'm going to be doing my book review on Rosie, Revere, Engineer. So again, the book is Rosie, Revere, Engineer by Andrea Beatty. And the purpose of this book review is to give you a summary and analysis of the book, as well as a conclusion about the thoughts and implications that it has in the field of technology, and I took it as mainly the implications it has on the STEM field. A little bit about Andrea Beatty. She grew up in Illinois. She is one of 6 children in her family. She went to Southern Illinois University and studied biology and computer science. And she worked as a computer tech once she graduated. And she wanted to share her love of writing and STEM with children. So a lot of her books are, well, I'll show you on the next slide. So she has some books. Obviously, the one that I'm going over is Rosie, Revere, Engineer. But the other one is Iggy Peck, Architect, and Ada Twist, Scientist. So her books are focused mainly on STEM careers, and they're kind of encouraging children to go into those careers, to look into what they are about, and to essentially follow their dreams if that's something that they want to do. Main idea and theme. So I took the main idea as being believing in yourself and persevering through difficult times leads to success. One quote from the book that I liked that was, "The only true failure can come if you quit." And I think that's absolutely true. We should be encouraging our students to try and try again until they find success. And each time they try, they learn something new. And the themes of perseverance, hard work, and determination are shown throughout the book. And you'll be able to see that when I go over the summary. So summary is Rosie Revere was a young girl who had always dreamed of being an engineer. As a young child, she built inventions proudly. It was noted that she would just find things around her house, find things in the trash, and make really cool inventions that she thought were super neat that helped people do things. One day, she made her uncle a hat that repelled snakes. It was a cheese hat, and it repelled snakes, and he laughed at her. So she became very embarrassed and hid her inventions. Later in the story, and after that, she still built her inventions, but she hid them from other people because she was very embarrassed, and she didn't want people to laugh at her like her uncle had. One day an aunt told her that her dream was to fly, and Rosie was kind of inspired. She wanted to help, but she remembered the hat and how her uncle laughed. So she kind of wasn't too sure. She was very hesitant. She decided to try and make a plane out of the hat. So she used the cheese hat to try to make a plane for her aunt. And when she tried it, it crashed to the ground. Obviously, Rosie was kind of sad. Her aunt was watching, and she laughed at Rosie. So Rosie was sad and said she would never build anything again. Her aunt hugged her and said that it was a brilliant try and that they should try again. So the aunt kind of laughed and then turned it around in a positive way. So Rosie drew changes in her notebook that her aunt gave her and fixed her invention. And then at the end of the book, she proudly shares her ideas with her class. So essentially, Rosie starts out as a child who is put down by her uncle, but eventually turns around, and her aunt really helps her find the motivation and the inspiration to complete what she wants to do. Analysis. One of the main ideas, I think, was how others can influence a child's dreams and successes. So the classroom environment was not engaging for Rosie. At the beginning of the story, it said that she sat in class bored and unengaged. And I think that it's important for adults to kind of figure out what children's strengths and interests are, and to adapt to that. So I think that the teacher could have helped Rosie in that way. The uncle's laughing made Rosie hide her inventions and become embarrassed. So it's important to remember that even if the child is young, and even if we might think it's silly, it's still not okay to laugh and make them feel embarrassed, because his laughing and his actions really influenced her throughout the entire story. And then the aunt's laughing hurt her feelings, but when Rosie's aunt gave her motivation, Rosie really excelled. So we see that the uncle, putting her down, really made her embarrassed, but that the aunt's motivation really helped her excel. To kind of see both sides of that, and I think the author did a really good job of incorporating that into her story, and really making it a lesson for adults as well. Another part of the analysis was the illustrations in the book. I thought they were really well done. First of all, illustrations in books always engage children, especially when they're well done. They encourage creativity. Seeing any kind of art really can help children build ideas on how they can make their art, or new ideas for just how they can show their artistic side. And then I thought that they incorporated engineering processes such as sketching out ideas. And so, especially in this picture right down here, you see this is where Rosie's aunt gave her the notebook. This is the page that happens. So it kind of shows us the thought process of engineering. And even though, like you can tell, it's not necessarily like actual engineering sketches, like what that might look like, it still gives children an idea of like, this is what engineers do. They have to draw things out, it doesn't just happen. They draw it out and they write down their ideas and they write down their like changes that they have to make, and then you can get a good product. So it helps children understand there's a process in writing. And then in conclusion, Rosie Revere Engineer encourages children to follow their dreams. It also has implications and lessons for adults, which are our actions and words can heavily affect the child's self-image and dreams. So we should encourage children instead of making fun of them. Overall, I think Rosie Revere Engineer was a very well-made book that really reaches out to children and to adults. I think it's an awesome book for children to read about and learn about motivation and perseverance. And it's also a really good book to help guide adults in how we can better help and better motivate our children that we serve, and learn from people like her uncle, and maybe not do those things if we know more about it. Thank you. That is all.